line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up.
welcome back to PTM Racing TV. We are live here tonight at North Wilkesboro Speedway as this famous old track has been brought back to life in the iRacing series and iRacing circuit. And what a way to go back on out by having our late model drivers come on out for a little bit of a shindig and a battle as we get ready for tonight's race. Tonight we look at our main field as the starting lineup shows the 91 of 91J of Jackson Allen leading him off the start. Row 2 on his outside will be Jesse Baker in the 79. Row 2, Cindy Taylor in the number 7 to her outside. That's going to be the Rattlesnake Robert Kahn in the 21. Row 3, that's going to be Kayla, the pride of Texas, Kayla McCarthy to her outside, the 55, Shane Ledoux. Row 4, we'll see the 84, Matthew Hopper to his outside. Chantel, the Throttle Bottle in the Walking Dead, number 5 machine. Row 6, we'll see Daniel Hutchinson, that number 2 machine to his outside. Christopher Pendle, no shift, no cover, call him Pit Pendle in that 16. Starting lineup on the back here will be Dave Bichner in the 19, is outside, Dustin Rouse in the 30, shotgun on our field, Jeffrey Oakes in the 20, is outside, Lance Brantlinger. This is it, folks. We are ready to go live, stack and all that. Presented by our great sponsors, of course, over at Matt Mills Racing Team, Mid-Cities Air Conditioning and Heating, Affordable SEO and Marketing, Amber's Floral Creations, Bob's Custom Trophies, SimRacingMerch.com, Bottles, Wraps, and of course our good friends over at Maconi Setup Shop. Your drivers are ready to go and they are ready to start them up here. The favorite to win tonight, Action Jackson Allen, the 91J, been on a hot streak as of late, really working him in, showcasing what he can do, and tonight he looks to keep that up tonight. But he's got the 79, and Jesse Baker came up just so close last time out, looking to finally end the curse of losing and get himself a racing victory. If he's going to do it, he's going to have to do it tonight on this track. The 21 of Robert Kahn's going to the back. He must serve a penalty from last week, so that's why you see him going to the back here. The rest of our field will work them on in and get ready here. They will move them up just one spot each on that outside line as we prepare for the start of our race. So the pace car is off out of turn 4 this time by, folks. It's time to go race it here for the late models of Battle of the Metal Racing League. 130 laps of the distance. The drivers are up and running already as the 91J of Jackson Allen off to the early start. Back down and around now. Jesse Baker will match his timing and rhythm here. Back in the pack here. Trouble there for Dave Bichner. The 19, Dave Bichner, already loose there out of turn 1 and 2, and he now finally sets it up back and around. We bring him on down the front straightaway here, down out of turn 4 they go. Chantel, the Throttle Bottle on the hunt in the 5th spot. But right behind her, she's got a battle here with Matthew Hopper in the Red Bull machine, energy drink machine, and the 55 machine, Ledoux, and the Chevrolet 55 right into the wall. Gets it back on the wrap. He'll bring it on down around as a 16 of Christopher. No shift. Don't call that man Pit Pendle. Tries to build up some momentum to get back into this one. Back down and around now. It's the battle of the females. The battle for third. Kayla McCarthy does battle here with Cindy Taylor, but Cindy Taylor takes out all the females in this one. Ow! Caution up, crash and course. Cindy Taylor drove a little too hard. McCarthy and her getting right into it there, and a caution coming out for these drivers. Let's go to the replay here and take another look at this one here. We're going to take a very close look at this and see what exactly went wrong. Here is the PTM Instant Replay. This is the onboard camera here of Cindy. You can see McCarthy kind of driving up on her a little bit, and unfortunately starting that whole chain reaction to begin with, which caused everything else to go into a panic mode. So let's go ahead and take another look at it from another angle here. We're on board with Chantel, the Throttle Pilot here in the 5. Here's another look at this one here. Watch this. Cindy kind of goes up. Kayla's getting a little too close. She got a little bit in there. Piles is trying to back off, but the front end takes the brunt of that, and unfortunately causing massive issues and causing troubles for her. So she will put her back down in pit road here, down and get a fresh repair up. They are allowed 5 fast repairs, so they will get those fixed up. Dustin Rouse, unfortunately, in there. No shift, don't recall Pit Pendle involved, and the rest of the field after that. So a tough break there for them off the start here to go through that immediately. But that's the thing with North Wilkesboro. You never know sometimes what's going to happen and what's going to go down. These drivers can run hard and they run good. And then sometimes you get a little too aggressive and you get a little too on the spot and all of a sudden you lose it. What am I talking about exactly? I'm going to tell you guys a little bit here in this Track Tech Talk. Let's go on board here with the Rattlesnake, Robert Kahn, about it. So as you see right here, folks, you take a close look at these turns and these bankings here. You see how banked up the front and the back stretches are. Now take a close look at these turns. Two unique turns set up very similarly, but the difference is the apron, and that's really the main thing that's going to get these drivers confused and bewildered. So you watch here at turn 1 and 2. You see there is no curve to the bottom, only grass. You can drive pretty low down there, but if you touch that grass, it's going to send you for a ride. You go down that back straightaway here, not as banked as the front stretch, if you will, but when you come down around out of turn 3, then you see this little apron kind of built up for the curve, and the curve now is where all the trouble starts if you get it too low. If you get it right up on that curve, these late models, you have a better chance to save it, but in the NASCAR Cup Series, you get up there, you're going for a ride. So they have initiated a 1 to go. Will they let them do it? I'm not for sure. Drivers seem to be still re-racking, restacking and all that, so it looks like they're going to leave them alone here. Sydney Taylor, though, unfortunately had brought out the caution due to that little incident there, so. But the situation seems to be okay. Everything seems to be going good for the drivers. Kayla McCarthy has fixed up her Bloody Harvest number 24 machine. Hofford looks okay in the 84. He's clicked it up a little bit there as well. No shift, don't call him Pit Pendle in the Autism Awareness number 16. Looks cleared up, cleaned up. Looks like he fell a lap short, so he'll get his lap back as he'll work him on down around. I'll tell you one thing, man. Going into tonight, these drivers were hyped and psyched and all that, but they told me earlier today that North Wilkesboro is no joke. It's fun to run, but it's treacherous. It can be hard on you. It can be very dangerous, and we know that. And I can tell you right now, I was down there earlier on the same setup. They have a different setup that they would run for the North Wilkesboro's machines. And I'll tell you one thing, that car, I'm not sure what's going on with the 30 at Dustin Rouse. Looks like he's finally got it situated out. But I'll tell you this, guys, this track is hard and to really clear and really hang on to for a multitude of reasons. Because it is hard, because of that apron spot I was telling you about earlier, you don't really have much room in the way of making mistakes. So the outside line seems like you can run there, but let me tell you, it's not worth it. It's just the outside line with these things is only when you absolutely have a full-on, full throttle assault coming your way and ready to go. And it's very difficult to get that run to begin with. So it's really all going to boil down to what they can do and how they'll run it around here tonight. But nevertheless, as they get situated out here, it is time to go back to green flag racing here. As they bring it on down around out of turn 3 and 4. Green flag flies in the air. We're back underway. Dave Bishner in the 19 now onto the outside there. He had a little mishap on turn 1 and 2 earlier. Not so much to be this time. Robert Kahn fouls him in. Contact made there. Robert Kahn has to back off. The Quaker State number 21 having to get out of the way there and back off of the trouble zone there. Dave Bishner unfortunately having some internet troubles, about blinking a little bit there as Matthew Hofford works it on down the outside line. Maybe trying to make a monkey out of me as we go 3 wide out of turn 1 into 2. Shane Ledoux having to get that one settled in, and Matthew Hofford kind of getting in the crux of it. He gets out of that, but nonetheless, Kayla, the pride of Texas, McCarthy finally fighting back here, getting up to the top of the area again after that incident there with Sydney Taylor. Jackson Allen, though, is off to a red-hot start as usual, as he always has been on this series. And on down out of turn 2 they go here. A little bit of contact made there from Lance Brantlinger to Shane Ledoux. Contact made again and again there out of turn 3 and 4. I mean, I know you can bump around these things. You don't want to do it too often, though. Driving hard, driving aggressive. Now Jeffrey Oaks to the inside there around Dave Bishner. Bishner's trying to defend off of the Canadians. Iron number 19. On down around the back, straight away we go here. Now Bishner trying to build up some momentum, trying to get something going here. We work them on down around out of turn 3, back into turn 4 here as Jeffrey Oaks still tries to line him up, get his straight going, get something here doing. Down around they bring it, turn 1 back into 2 they go. They will swing him on by as the rest of our field works on in. Jesse Baker, Curley trying to catch up to that 91 at Jackson Allen. You can see the distance and momentum that Jackson's got on him already right now. but with a long run setup, that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to perfect that later, but he is a tough challenger and a tough hombre. I believe he's got 1,000 starts on his resume. He has been one guy you can never count out. But one driver you can't ever count out, of course, are the two right behind Baker and them. That's Chantel, the Throttle Paul in fourth in that 5 spot, and the 21 of Robert Kahn, the Rattlesnake, and the Quicker State Machine. They all battling in, working them on down around as we continue on in. Now Jeffrey Oakes in the 24, Caleb McCarthy getting into it where we got a caution. Yellow is out, and Lance Brantlinger has trouble here on the front stretch going into turn 1. Let's go to the PTM Instant Replay and take a look at this one here and see what happened exactly. There's another look at it. Right in, around, gets into the 16 there of Pendle. No shift, don't ever call it Pit Pendle, saves it. Might as well call him the tire saver / the car saver Pit Pendle, but I guess that would not sound very catchy. And unfortunately, Lance Brantlinger in the Broken Skull Machine, unfortunately, just, well, went for a ride and a half, unfortunately, because he got into it there. So, nonetheless, they'll situate him out, get him ready to go yet again for another run. As a caution comes out, we're going to go ahead to a quick little commercial break and give you guys a little word from our sponsors.
At Maconi Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.maconisetupshop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. Maconi Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
And also a quick word from our other sponsors over at Matt Mills Racing Team. Matt Mills Racing Team, best Xfinity team out there, is sponsoring and supporting Pedal to the Metal Racing League this season. If you want to support Matt Mills Racing today, be sure to follow them up at Matt Mills Racing on Facebook and Twitter. Our good friends over at Mid-Cities Air Conditioning and Heating. Ever find yourself in need of a little bit of heating and cooling units need to be fixed in the Keller, Richland, Texas? Stop on over to Mid-Cities Heating and Cooling for a troubleshoot. They'll get the job done right the first time. Affordable SEO and marketing with services provided like web design, pay-per-click advertising, logo design, business cards, shirts, hats, pins, candy, and more. It's time you gotta bring your competition online today. By Amber's Floral's Creation. If you're looking for some special flowers for that special someone, be sure to visit Amber's Floral Creations at 321-228-3135. And of course, our good friends over at Bob's Custom Trophy Shop. Bob's Custom Trophies Incorporated. Bob's Custom Trophies is supplying up the trophies for the winners of each season. If you're looking to get the best hardware set up, visit www.bobscustomtrophies.com today. But also, maybe you don't want to get a trophy. Maybe you want to get something special for your friends or family out there. They have little decoration designs that you have to see to believe. They have some awesome stuff there, so check them on out. And then, of course, I mentioned earlier about the trophies. That is the hardware they're going for this season. 2 trophies on the line, and it is going to be a doozy for those ones. I've actually seen them in person, and I'll tell you right now, man, those things are beauties. Bob's Custom Trophies definitely gets the best equipment and the best stuff done right. I'll tell you that right now. All right, though, real quick, folks, we're bringing on down the back straightaway to turn 3 and 4. Bring that pace car off the track. Bamboo, sir. We want these drivers to go hot to the throttle. Here we go. Back on around out of turn 1. They bring him on down into turn 2. Immediately, Robert Kahn on the attack. Try to get that low line to get working in. Here comes Jesse Baker in the 79 now. Jackson Allen trying to defend in the middle line there, but Baker's got a run there on the bottom. They bring it on down around out of turn 3. And a 3-wide salute initiates down on the front stretch. Jeffrey Oakes, Dave Fitchner, and Dustin Rouse incorporated that one in. They cleared out of the front stretch of turn 1 back down into turn 2. Your battle is for the race lead and battle for the back as well. And third right now, Chantel, the Throttle Paddle, and the Walking Dead. Number 5, got to deal with that Quaker State. Number 21, of Robert Kahn. Back on around as well now. Christopher No Ship, don't ever call that man Pit Pendle in the 16 machine. Trying to get the autism awareness out on the bout. Running on and down out of turn 2 they go. Here they are all at this one. Robert Kahn now challenges Chantel to the inside there. Chantel goes to the outside. Robert to the inside now as they work him on down around. That opens the door up. Oh, bobble there from Robert Kahn, though. Sends back Christopher No Ship Pendle as well. All 4 drivers now challenging in, and I say 4 because now we got 5 in the mix. Matthew Hufford and Jeffrey Oaks have joined into the fray, battle for 3rd. Jesse Baker is still trying to find a way around Jackson Allen, trying to get redemption from last week's loss. Down and around, the inside goes to Robert, the outside to Chantel, and you've got 4 cars right in the mix of it. Right down and around we go here. They'll bring him on down and around. We've got an onboard here of Jeffrey Oaks, showcasing what he is dealing with right now. Oh, no ship, don't call him Pip Pendle, but into the 16 autism awareness machine he went. Hard battle between these drivers. They continue on through here. Now comes Dustin Hutchinson in that number 2 machine. The 2 now, working it on down around, trying to see if maybe he's got something for him here, maybe to build up momentum and get himself a chance into victory lane. Oh, but right behind all of them now, trouble there for Dave Bitchner and the 30 of Dustin Rouse. Bitchner into the wall yet again and turned around by Rouse. Caution has yet to come up. Will they call it? I don't know if they're going to call it right now. I think they might let him run, still keep it going. The 16 of No Ship, don't call him. Pit Pendle still on the attack here, trying to get around Chantel the throttle bottle. How many times have we seen these two go at it? There has always been a war between those drivers from the Heat Series back in the day. And obviously Robert Kahn as well has been a challenger in his own right. Trouble there for Dave Bitchner. He gets it in pit road, and that might have slowed up Jackson Allen a little bit, but it definitely slowed up Jesse Baker a bit. Baker, unfortunately, still having troubles here. The caution is out now. 2 cars involved in that one. Caleb McCarthy in the 24 and the 2 there. Dustin Hutchins. Let's go to the replay and find out about that one. We saw what happened a minute ago there with Dave Bitchner and Rouse. Now let's take a look on the flip side of that. Hutchinson just got a little too hard on the throttle, kind of tagged in McCarthy there, and Oaksy just gave a huge tap and a half there to Hutchinson. Hutchinson, unfortunately, spun it on around, and, well, when you do that, it's easier said than done to get situated back out, unfortunately. But nevertheless, we're all situated out and taken care of here. In the chat tonight, we have Kenneth Crawford and rooting on the old 21 there. It's good to have you back aboard, buddy. Seriously, when are you going to come and join us, man? Come and talk. I want you on here so I can have a broadcast partner with me, man. I miss you. Seriously, come back. Well, nevertheless, we get them situated out and about. Our top 5 now will be Robert Kahn in 3rd, the 79 of Jesse Baker in 2nd, and Jackson Allen 1st. Of course, 4th spot right now, Christopher No Ship, don't call him Pit Pendle, and the 16 Autism Awareness Machine. And the good wrench number 20 of Jeffrey Oaks in the 5th slot. It's early, but Jackson Allen has the advantage. Tonight's race is sponsored in part by our good friends over at simracingmerch.com. The one-stop shop for all your sim racing merch needs, including shirts, hats, mugs, and more. Be sure to visit simracingmerch.com today to get your sim racing swag on. Buy Puddles Wraps. Looking to have your car, truck, vehicle match your style on the track? Then be sure to hit up Puddles Wraps for just that. At such a low and affordable price, you can get your creation brought to life on the track. So what are you waiting for? Visit Paul's Wraps today to bring your ideas to life. And then, of course, our good friends over at Maconi Setup Shop. For just $5, you can have the fastest, baddest car to beat on the track anytime and any place. To find the right setup for your track and car, be sure to visit Maconi Setup Shop today for more information. So as we work them on down around here, guys, currently everybody's still getting situated out here, getting taken care of here. A lot of time to be had here, a lot of racing to go, definitely everyone seems to be on their feet, on their game here, just kind of figuring out what's going to be the best way to do this here. Robert Kahn in the 21 right now, currently in the hunt. He is dealing up into the 4th slot right now, 3rd slot I should say. 4th slot going to the 16 of Christopher No Ship, Colin Pit Pendle as they get the 1 to go here. If you guys good that's in the chat, be sure to share us up, like and follow us up here on PTM Racing TV. Be sure to get all your friends and family out here. We'd love to have you guys support us on in, and be sure to have some views in here for these drivers. These drivers are definitely out and about looking to get some serious hardware in this season, and they want to do it by winning their race and winning the championship. The only way to do that, though, is you got to figure out how to put the pedal to the metal here with the PTM Racing League drivers. We're coming on down around out of turn 4 when the green flag flies. We're back underway. Here we go. And down around out of turn 1, back down turn 2. Christopher, no shift, don't call it pit pedal to the outside there. Robert, he's got a hard charge. The full throttle assault is coming. Down and around, they continuing on by now as Jesse Baker tries to hold off there. The 91J with Jackson Allen right in front of him here. They bring it on back. They are all at odds with one another here. Jackson Allen trying to defend. He knows Baker's coming for him and he wants revenge. But it is early, so they know they're not going to try and overdo one another at the starts here. They will come on down around now. Jackson Allen still holds his own on the lead, but Christopher No Shit Pendle in the 16's got a hard charge coming his way. Chantel, the throttle puddle, does battle here with Caleb McCarthy. The Pride of Texas is a little bit loose there. No, Chantel saves it on a turn 1. Nice save there. Takes a lot of momentum and a lot of key skill to hold that one in, and she got right on the apron and into the grass. I mentioned it earlier. That is like ice. If you touch that with these tires, you're going spinning, but she managed to hang it on there. Back on around now, Dave Bitchner and the 30 of Dustin Rouse do battle here as they continue on back down out of turn 2. Working it on in now, the number 3 of Dave Bitchner is also trying to Lance Brandlinger doing battle here with that 55 of Shane Ledoux, while the 2 of Dustin Hutchinson having to pull back in the pack here after that little incident he had earlier. Still charging, still fighting. Neither one wants to quit here. These drivers are battling for everything they can, while Dustin Rouse now has the CF3 wide slid in his rear view. Lance Brandlinger and Shane Ledoux involved in that one there, but they clear it out right behind all of them. Kale, the one you don't mess with, Texas McCarthy battling it in here with the 20 of Jeffrey Oaks. All drivers still at it here. Everybody giving it their all in their heart. Neither one wants to quit. Down the back stretch we go. Jeffrey Oaks still trying desperately to stay out of trouble here and get his run back in, but he keeps going to the outside, that middle line. Remember what I said earlier. If you go into that line area, it's going to be harder to hold your spot and keep the rhythm going. If you keep it tight and compact, you can force the driver to stay down on you. But as mentioned and seen earlier, I don't think you want to do that necessarily. As we're working on down and around, we're going on board here with Dustin Rouse. You get a good look at the camera angle here of Rouse as he brings it on down out of turn 1. You can see how low he's trying to get and how he's trying to apex it right off that turn 2 there. Hitting it down the back straightaway. Now looking very carefully at where everybody else is apexing off that bottom line. You see Jeffrey Oaks getting awfully close. There is a little ridge there though out of turn 4 that you got to be careful with. I was down there earlier and I flat out could feel it with my feet and the car. When I was on that track, it does not feel good when you bump it. It can send you for a ride and it can send you for a whole lot of trouble. Right now, down and around, here we go, battle for second. Robert Kahn, the Rattlesnake in the 21, doing battle here with that 16 of Schuster or No Shift. Don't call that man Pit Pendle. Trying to battle it on around with 79er Jesse Baker. Baker currently still holding his own, still keeping it in here, trying to see if maybe he's got something here for them as they work him on down around out of turn 2. Pendle defending off the middle and the bottom. Robert Kahn knows he's got to find a way inside there and try to get something going. He's getting awfully close to that bottom ridge there on the grassy plains. That could be trouble later. You can see where they're trying to apex it. They're trying to bring it up high and then bring it back down low. My thing to Jackson Allen's though, is he running it harder than all of them for a reason, or is he going to run it in too hard and that tire buildup's going to mess with him? Down the back straightaway here, I mean, Jackson right now has been the guy that everybody has just absolutely been trying to defeat, trying to beat every time out here. There hasn't been a lot of competition on the longer tracks like North Wilkesboro, but on Thompson, he definitely was challenged there. He didn't have the full-on assault there. But it seems like when he's on a longer track or on a longer format, he seems to be just kind of taking that in with stride. But it is early in the season here, folks, so you never know sometimes. We've seen it before with drivers like Tyler Hunt in the 20 in the old school league where he has a strong race and a strong battle all the way through leading into a couple weeks, but then after a few weeks, unfortunately something comes up and he loses his ground and momentum because you just can't win them all. It doesn't matter how good you are as a driver, it does come around to you eventually. As right now the drivers are kind of pulling up a one-line draft here. That's going to play more into the favor here of everyone to get back into this hunt here. If you make a bobble in these late models, I'm going to tell you something right now. When you make a bobble in these late models, the biggest issue that I've seen and noticed is that it's hard to really master and take on getting your momentum back on, because the problem is if you overdrive it in just a little bit or you underdrive it, you can definitely get caught up really quick. What Jackson Allen's trying to do right now is he's trying to stay ahead of that curve and that issue and keep a nice set of fresh, clean air as Jesse Baker now gets challenged up here from the 21 of Robert Kahn. Right back on the inside here, he works it on by now, trying to get some momentum around there. He goes on through out of turn one, back to turn two. Problem is, the more him and Jesse Baker battle, the more that might just open the door up to Jackson Allen. That 91J is going to be tough to beat, and he's going to be hard to catch. Robert Kahn, though, in the Quaker State 21, still on it here, trying to get something going. Kayla, the pride of Texas McCarthy, after that little bobble earlier, finally seems to be back in it, and now look at this. This is what we were talking about earlier. Robert Kahn to the inside line. He finally makes a move around Baker. Baker tries to defend. He tries to get him blocking down on the bottom, but Robert's got the run on that bottom. Seams it off of the apex. He's got a hard charge coming. And now Baker with the slingshot around. He tries to pull it back on it. Contact made there by McCarthy and Pendle. Whoa, right behind all of them there. We weren't even watching that. There's a fender bump on the 16 there of Pendle. Might have been from McCarthy from earlier, but I mean, hard charge and hard battles right now going on. Problem is, Jesse Baker and Robert Kahn are now a half a second back on him. And they're going to want to catch up to this one. They're going to have to start fighting a little harder because this is definitely going to get a little bit tricky for him. The 84 of Matthew Hofford is challenging in down the bottom line now, trying to get in there with the 16 of No Shift. Don't call him Pendle. Pendle on the outside, trying to make it stick, but I think that fender might be getting into that tire a little bit. That's going to be trouble for him. We're working on down out of the front, on the back straightaway now, down back down into turn 3, and now a caution comes out. Sean Tell, the throttle paddle, and Sydney Taylor involved in that one. Let's go to the replay. Sydney Taylor dives in hard, gets a lot of momentum there, but Chantel is trying to back off, get out of there, was trying to get into there as well. Ends up tagging themselves in there, and that's where the trouble started. We'll go on board here with Sydney Taylor and see where she saw everything kind of come on down. But unfortunately, that was definitely not the kind of racing you usually see from the Legend Season 1 champion. You see right there, she just kind of brought it in there a little too hard on the throttle, and it kind of stirred up the trouble there, and it brought the caution out. So they'll get a re-rack, restack, and all that. And I believe Jackson Allen has gone in pit road as well with his team, with his battle march there. Jesse Baker and Robert Kahn. So off the pit road, it looks like get a good look here. I believe that'll be McCarthy battling it on in. I don't know if she took the lead there. Judging by our scorecard here, it looks like she might actually have. That can play into the favor here to Jackson Allen, unfortunately, to have to find a way to get back into this. He's going to have to start in a position he's not started in a while, and that's from the back. A lot of bumping and rubbing and a lot of beating and banging out there, but that's to be expected with these drivers, man. They will give you everything they got and everything you need to here. They will do what they got. And I just now realized that we lost our logo there for a second. I didn't even realize that. Thanks a lot, producers. So apologies to everyone at home that got confused on what we are running right now. We had a little mishap there, unfortunately, and our producers, as usual, they decided to be a thorn in my side and forget that I am kind of, you know, broadcasting. I kind of needed to have all our stuff on the screen, so. But nevertheless, they'll get them on situated in, and Dustin Rouse looks like he's going to take the lead. So him and McCarthy will lead it on in. Action Jackson Allen and 91J will start in the third slot, but he's got a fresh set of tires compared to these drivers. Robert Connor, the 21, will be in that one. Matthew Hopford and the 84 and the 16 of Christopher No Shift, don't call him Pit Bindle. And Jesse Baker's going to have to work his way back up to the top here from with the 20 of Jeffrey Oaks. This might be the game changer that we've been looking for here. We'll see what happens. They come on down around. The caution stays out though. We're just about ready to hit our halfway point. Looks like the drivers were not ready here after we stacked and all that. And the flagman was like, yeah, I see that. I don't want that. I want to make sure they're all ready to go here. So my response there from myself, a Crusader, I say to that flagman, could you please just make sure that they're all lined up and good to go? We already have the pace car out there to get them set up. Come on, man. If you guys are just joining in for the first time, first off, welcome, and we hope you're enjoying the show. As we get situated out here and ready to go, looks like this time by we're going green. Everyone gets ready and packed and stacked. It's time to go racing here as they come on down around out of turn 4. Some drivers still not ready to go yet on my end, but looks like they're going to let them go anyway. Green flag flies high in the air. Back on around they go. Here, Caleb McCarthy got a hard charge there off that start. She leads them on in. Robert Kahn in the 21 Quaker State on the attack here out of turn 4 here. Dustin Rouse in the 30 has to start finding a way to build up momentum and stay out of trouble. He's got Jackson Allen to the inside without Christopher Pendley out. Almost a 3-wide salute initiated there. Back on around now. Jeffrey Oaks now challenges up that 30 of Dustin Rouse. Rouse is in trouble. Tires might not have been an issue but they're definitely an issue now. Back on around the front straightaway here. They bring him on back on in out of turn 1 into 2. You can see some grass cut from earlier. That's not lawn care service gone wrong. That was just Chantel and Cindy Taylor getting in there. You got 4 cars battling this one in the top 5. Right down around they go here. They are still at odds with one another here. We're on board here. Jesse Baker goes to the inside line now, trying to get around Christopher No Shift. Don't call him Pit Bendel on that Autism Awareness 16 machine. Working it on in. They continue on by down and around they go. 63 laps to go as we are halfway into this one. Matthew Hopper in the 84 doing battle here with the 20 and Jeffrey Oaks still trying to maintain some grip and rhythm here. Now, I've been told earlier that with these cars, they are not set up for anything past 60 laps, so they are going to have to eventually get into pit road at sometime now. But as they work them on by and around, Jackson Allen now back into the third slot with a 24, Kayla, the pride of Texas McCarthy in this one. Robert Kahn in the old rattlesnake in the Quaker State 21 now. That's challenged up into the third slot on turn 4. He's got the race lead away from McCarthy. McCarthy now trying to defend Jackson Allen. You know that what she doesn't want to have happen is Jackson getting around her. She's not on as fresh of a tires as she is. Any mistake, any bobble to that bottom line, and that's going to open the door up. You can see Jackson starting to squeeze his way in there. It's hard though because when you're coming out of turn 1 or 2 or 3 and 4, that little ridgeway to set the turn up for entry can send you for a loop or two. And speaking of loops or two, Christopher No Shift, don't call him Pit Pedal, back into the wall there out of turn 2. But he'll bring it on around out of turn 4 here, still challenging this one up. Jeffrey Oaks in the 20 machine, still trying to hang in this one, still trying to fight through this. He's got Jesse Baker right behind him here as they all come together here battling on by. No bobble there from Jesse Baker as they come on out of turn 3 and 4. He got up into the curtain area, and that curb area will send you for a ride. And we've talked about it before. You got to be careful about that. It doesn't seem to slow him down, but as he gets into Jeffrey Oaks, that just did. Cindy Taylor smells blood in the water. She's on the hunt. She's trying to get from the 8th slot back into the 5th slot. She's got some challengers right in front of her as she works it on down. We're on board here with her. Jeffrey Oaks in the Good Wrench 20 machine, still kind of challenging it on in, doing his own thing. He had a little bit of a bobble there coming in from Jesse Baker and Christopher Pendle, but they seem to have cleared that out and got it fixed up. A lot of hard racing for these drivers, but definitely there's a lot of hard times to go right now as the 84 Matthew Hoffert falling further and further away here, kind of trying to get something going here as Jackson L, the 91J, still tries to fight him on in. Robert Kahn has got a good size lead over the drivers here. Back on around out of turn 3 back, or turn 2 I should say. They work them on by now. They'll go into turn 3 and a 4 here in a minute. 55 laps left in this one here. There's not a lot of time left for these drivers to get this one figured out. And you just know that they have not a lot of time at their stake. McCarthy, though, still holding her own, still doing what she can to defend off Jackson. You just know that they want to win, but Jackson has told me earlier today, I've been on the hunt, I've been out for blood, I've been out for gold all season long. The only thing I want is to win the races and get that trophy at the end of the year. Down and about, they bring it on down. Cindy Taylor has to do battle here with Jeffrey Oaks. The Good Wrench 20 goes outside line, and the ghost-busting machine of Cindy Taylor makes him pay. On around out of turn 3 and a 4. I would say that she does not need a new battery in her phone because she's got a hard charger coming. Meanwhile, right back in the field here, the 79 there, Jesse Baker. You want to talk about sheer consistency. He started from the outhouse of literally 8th or 10th in there, and now he's finally working it back into the 4th slot here with the 84 of Matthew Hoffert. Still not out of this one yet, still has a long way to go, and he definitely knows it. But as it continues on by here, I got a feeling that as long as he can keep flying and maintain momentum, I think he's got a good chance here to stay in this. On down around out of turn 3, back down into turn 4 we go here. Baker to the inside line, Hoffer's giving him room. Hoffer to the inside now, trying to build the middle line back up. A little bit of a bobble there out of Baker. Baker saw that coming, but he apexes it beautifully off the turn. Holds it out, stays in this one. 50 laps remain, and I guarantee you that tires are starting to burn in just a hit. Christopher, no shift, no calling. Pit pedal in the 16, battles it on by. All drivers still at it here, trying to get this one figured out. Pendle still trying to challenge him in here, trying to get something going here in the backstretch. They lead him on in. Pendle now to the inside there of Hoffer. They bring him on by. Battle for 5th. Cindy Taylor in the Ghostbusters number 7 machine doing her own thing, kind of hanging in this one. Still at odds with one another, still challenging up. Down that back straight, away we go. Cindy has now got a full run coming. I mentioned earlier, she's got a hard charge in that battery. She's coming on the full throttle assault. And no shift, don't call it. Pit Pendle sees it. Christopher's got to stay in line here, start figuring out how to get around that situation. Robert Kahn right now, man, you want to talk about some clean air. He's got about a second and a half, almost 2 seconds ahead of his front runners here. And it is definitely showing. Pit strategy has come into play for him, and it's definitely been the key factor to the winning this one. But as we continue on by, down and around we go. There is not a lot of breathing room for mistake, not a lot of room for error here as we work him on back. Dave Bitchner now 4 laps down, just kind of see if maybe he can hang with him. He's gone in pit road as he works it on by there with the 20 of Jeffrey Oaks. He made a hard pass around, that's because of that fresh tires there. In a little bit of trouble there for Bitchner. He gets a little loose there out of turn 1 and 2. Oaks, he doesn't know where to go! And Bitchner saves that one, but I don't know how much of a save it was when he went right into the wall. Took a hard lick and a half. They will stay on around here. He gets it back underway here. He'll be okay. Dustin Hutchins now is currently challenging up Chantel, the throttle pottle. The 5 now trying to stay in this one, trying to get some momentum built in. These drivers have been fighting for it, but the top 10 are at it here, nearly going. We've seen before with North Wilkesboro some hard racing, some good battles. The last time we were here, it was with the Legend Series in Season 1. And let me tell you, Lucas Gortman definitely showed he was a hard charger there and a good race battle there. But it was not to be at that spark start. When it came down to it, everybody was fighting for their life and fighting for everything they got because this track was eating and tearing them away on the long run stuff. And right now that seems to be the case. Kayla McCarthy looks like she might be picking up a few seconds on Robert in the corners there. Or maybe not, but Jackson Allen is definitely falling further and further back. Might be saving tires up here. If he is, smart strategy on his end. But how long will that come into play? We got a few folks still watching with us. Dustin Rouse currently got some friends and family joining us in here. Kenneth Crawford still with us and Michael Hill as well. It's good to have all you guys out there with us right now. As they battle on out around out of turn 4 they go. Restore no shift on Colin Pitt Pendle. Still trying to get up there with the 79 of Justin Baker. Your battle for 4th commences and continues. As long as there's no cautions to be had, everybody will stay in line and stay in their position. But I got a feeling that sooner or later, there's gonna be some pit stops coming. You can see how hard they're working and how hard they're doing for everything they got. Time, though, is the essence. They all are fighting for what they have and what they are wanting to do. We've seen multiple winners here on the series, but Jackson Allen definitely has been the guy everybody has been trying to take on and defeat each time out. As they continue on in, though, he is still a little bit away from the bloody harvest of McCarthy. Kayla McCarthy currently working on buy-in down that front straightaway here. You can see the distance Robert Kahn has right now on these drivers. He has got a good sized length away from them. It's not even funny, man. They're just continuing trying to battle this one in here. He's now worked it up to where now he can start doing some lap traffic here. With 35 laps to go here, I should say 36 to go. We got to a quick commercial break here, folks. We'll be right back, though, with some more PTM Pedal to the Metal Racing League here on PTM Racing TV. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the today's sponsors, of course, are brought to you in part by Matt Mills Racing Team. The best Xfinity team out there is sponsoring and supporting Pedal to the Metal Racing League this season. If you want to support Matt Mills Racing today, be sure to follow them up at Matt Mills Racing on Facebook and Twitter. Over our friends at Mid-Cities Air Conditioning and Heating. You ever find yourself in a little bit of heating and cooling needing to be fixed in Keller, Richland, Texas? Stop on over to Mid-Cities Heating and Cooling for a troubleshoot. They'll get the job done right the first time. Affordable SEO and Marketing. With services provided like web design, pay-per-click advertising, logo design, business cards, shirts, hats, pens, candy, and more, it's time you outrank your competition today. At Amber's Floral Creations. Amber's Floral Creations, if you're looking for some special flowers for that special someone, be sure to visit and call up Amber's Floral Creations at 321-228-3135. They're also here on Facebook, link down in the description. Bob's Custom Trophies Incorporated. Bob's Custom Trophies is supplying up the trophies for the winner of each season. If you're looking to get the best hardware set up your way, visit up www.bobscustomtrophies.com today. And as mentioned before, they're battling for these beautiful pieces of art, of course made up by bobscustomtrophies.com. Of course, though, Bob's Custom Trophies also has decorations and designs for all your personal needs. So if you're looking for a gift or a decoration for someone out there, be sure to visit them up. They'll give you a hand. SimRacingMerch.com. This one-stop shop for all your sim racing merch needs, including shirts, hats, mugs, and more. Be sure to visit SimRacingMerch.com today to get your sim racing swag on. By Paul's Wraps. Looking to have your car, vehicle, truck match your style on the track? Then be sure to hit up Paul's Wraps for just that. At such a low and affordable price, you can get your creation brought to life on the track. So what are you waiting for? Visit Paul's Wraps up today to bring your creations to life. And then our good friends over at Maconi Setup Shop, for just $5, you can get the fastest, baddest car to beat on the track anytime, any place. To find the right setup for your track and car, be sure to visit Maconi Setup Shop today. Back on around we go here. Robert Kahn now in lap traffic here. He's currently battling on in here with Caleb, with some drivers here. Dustin Rouse in that 30 and the 20 there. Jeffrey Oakes have been lapped up. Lance Brantlinger in that number 3 machine. Usually associate the 3 with Dave Bichner in recent seasons, but he has not to be this season. Caleb McCarthy currently in that second slot still. 30 laps left to go with these drivers, and time is of the essence for him. Sean Till, the throttle bottle in the 9th slot right now, is in danger of being lapped up here. This could be trouble for her if she's not careful. bringing them on down around there. Chantel definitely did not have the start she wanted there on the restart zone. And unfortunately, it's definitely showing because they're going to work it on in. Robert Kahn has got a foot full to the bottom here on around. Continuing on by there on a turn 4 here. And Rattlesnake has passed up the throttle. Jeffrey Oaks in the good wrench machine. Currently a lap down in the 11th spot with Dustin Rouse in his sights. Trying to see if maybe he's got something for him here. 91 and Jackson Allen still at it here. Still trying to figure out how to get back into this one. Although I think he might have just been saving his tires up. Let's go on board here with him and see what he's been up to. Yeah, going off the way I'm hearing that motor right now, I can tell you he is not hard charging through those middle corners. He's actually kind of laying off a lot sooner. And that could be a multiple of reasons. He could be trying to save his tires up. Or it could be just trying to save up for a last minute assault. Down and around we go here. Battle for 9th here. Chantel, the throttle bottle, dealing battle here with the 30 of Dustin Rouse. These two going at it once again. We haven't had Rouse on the show, on the series and season for too long, but he's going to go in pit side here and try to get something figured out. Kayla, the pride of Texas McCarthy, still doing work here. Last night on Old School League, she had a hard little wreck and unfortunate incident on the last lap of all things. Had a chance to get into 4th and then into 3rd. Unfortunately, though, it was not to be, and she was put back in the pack with a blown motor and a tore-up car. Last night was just absolutely insane. If you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, go visit back last night's stream and go see go see the 1 hour and 47 minute marker and decide for yourself what happened, because that was a hard little racing incident there. Sean Shriver has joined us in the chat now. It's good to have Sean back here with us. Still waiting for when you get on to the iRacing scene, my brother. We'll work them on down around now. Cindy Taylor in the 7 Ghostbusters machine, still trying to get up there with the 16 of Christopher No Shift, don't call him Pit Pendle. Everybody currently just battling for position, jockeying for their run. We are currently at 21 laps to go, and it just so happens to be the 21 of Robert Kahn is still leading it here. I have a feeling everybody wants to stay on out a little bit longer, kind of stay into this one. They don't want to give up too much time on the track for reasons being, but they also have to be aware that they can't overdo those cars. They've got to stay focused. Back on in we go here. McCarthy still trying to get something going, but right now, Axel Jackson's catching up pretty quick, and Robert Kahn is just going further and further away. In the back of the field here, Lance Brantley are down by quite a few laps here, unfortunately. Hard damage up on that right side there, the fender there, and Jeffrey Oaks kind of hanging in there with him. They will work it on by, kind of falling onto their line, figuring out what they want to do here. Everybody at odds with one another, everybody figuring out how they want to do this one in. It's been a long, good, clean run racing here for these drivers and some good battles nonetheless, but it hasn't been the most exciting thing we've seen. Obviously with North Wilkesboro, it's all about timing and position, but you know, I'll be honest with you, I thought these late models were going to have a lot more ground clearance, a lot more area. But I can tell you next season, though, there is a little thing out there. We may be going to the super late models, and I know a lot of fans and friends out there have been wanting us to do that. But, you know, we got to start somewhere, so we went with the late models here. As they working on down around now, Lance Brantlinger challenge to the inside line. He is going there to Jeffrey Oaks. The gut wrench number 20 of Jeffrey Oaks will now try to defend off the middle line. He can't quite keep him off. That's going to put him back a little bit here. Back on around they go here. They are still at it here, trying to figure this one out in. Jeffrey Oaks in the 20 now is losing time and ground. Here comes the 16 of Christopher No Shift, don't call him Pit Pendle, as he has now passed him on by. Cindy Taylor in the Ghostbusters machine as well, working it on in. 15 laps remain in this one. Whoa, contact made there, Cindy Taylor into the wall. Into the wall she goes. She saved that one though. Not the way she wanted to run that one in though. Cindy backing off quite a bit there. She's trying to get back into the rhythm of it. Oaksy, I believe, is just up high right now, just trying to let them through. Cindy's going in pit road, though. That might be, I don't know if that's strategy or what she's thinking right now, but that might not be the best maneuver, in my opinion. They're working on down by now as Dustin Rouse there in the 30. Goes to the outside there. Chantel, the throttle Pottle. They working on by now. Chantel back into the wall they go. But Rouse now building up some momentum and a little bit of steam. He went right in the grass, but he's able to clear it. Rouse is currently a lap or two down ahead of them. Actually 2 laps behind Chantel. Jackson Allen right now has caught up to McCarthy. And with only 12 laps to go here, I got a feeling he's just wanting some ground and clearance and maybe some position here for this one. On back around we go here. Jackson Allen, the 91J, still trying to change up some momentum, trying to get some key factors into this one. Kayla, the pride of Texas McCarthy, still trying to defend the bottom. Jackson's got a hard charge coming. I think he might have saved up just a little bit more than McCarthy, if she knows it. Back on around now, and looks like that 91J of Jackson Allen currently in a little bit of a hiccup here, a little bit of trouble. Down around they go, down out of turn 3, back down into turn 4 they go. Back on in. On down around, McCarthy still trying to change it on in, trying to challenge up. Jackson's got a foot full to the throttle. He's putting it straight into turn 4. You can see Dustin Rouse there back there kind of squeezing in, kind of lining up his area. Back on in, down around they go here. That's still anybody's position for that second spot. Robert Kondo has absolutely hard charged his way ahead of everybody. He's lapping fools left and right again. Cindy Taylor, I gotta believe, had to go on pit road because the tires and gas were a little bit low there. I can't think of any other reason why she did not go. She went into pit road. Matthew Hoffer now in trouble as well, being passed up by. He currently is in the 6th slot. He's going to lose some ground up, and Robert Kahn makes that pass on around. 5 laps to go. Flagman's got it high in the air. Behind all of them, you're on board here with Jackson. Kind of trying to charge up to the Bloody Harvest, 24 of McCarthy. Back on around they go here out of turn 3 and 4. With only 4 laps remaining, I think Jackson might have ran out of time here. He's not getting the runs he was getting there. I think he was trying to push a little too hard at the end. This could be interesting. As I continue it on by around now, Jackson currently having to deal with lap traffic in front of him. So is McCarthy. McCarthy gets a little run there from Hutchins. Hutchins to the inside there, backs off, doesn't want to get into Jackson. Good driving and sportsmanship on his end. Dustin Rouse still challenging up, trying to get something going here in the back, and the way we go. Matthew Hofford in it with a Shane Ledoux. Ledoux right now currently in 7th. He's trying to make a run there for 6th. To the inside goes the 55 Chevrolet. Matt Moniak has joined us in with 2 laps to go. He's rooting for his boy Ledoux. Well, right now he's got a good chance at holding 6th if he can keep on the momentum, because he just left up a huge spot there. Down around out of turn, through they go. Hopper can't capitalize though. They can't bring it back in here. They'll go on down around out of turn 3 and 4. The white flag comes out for that man right here. Robert Kahn has got himself this one all but wrapped up. He just needs to come across the finish line. To the back stretch, out of turn 3 and 4. The Rattlesnake is back, and he has struck his run on North Wilkesboro. Right behind all of it here, the 24, Caleb McCarthy will get the 2nd slot. 3rd will go to Jackson Allen, and 4th will go to Christopher No Shift, Don't Call him Pit Bendel in the 16. What a race. 5th going to Jesse Baker as well in the 79. Talk about a hard charge he had. He gave it everything he had there tonight. We will be right back with you guys here. We got to head down to pit road here and talk with our drivers on this one. It was a good night of action here, and it was a good battle to say the least here. But out of it all, it went to that man right there, Robert the Rattlesnake Khan, as he gets a little love and a little tap there from McCarthy saying, hey, you did it, bud, but next time, this one's mine. Always good to see the love and support and friendship from these drivers as they get situated out here. Robert kind of taking it all in. He has never won here at North Wilkesboro on the PTM Racing TV Pedal to the Metal Racing League circuit. And Chantel just kind of tapping that right side, say, hey, you won, but next time I'm getting you. She ended up finishing 8th out of that one. Going to the grassy plains, he wants to have a little fun. He's just kind of playing to the crowd, although you don't want to drive it there. You got to save it for next week, you dingus dork. Well, I think he's all right. He'll be okay at the end of it. So, but nonetheless, we're waiting for our top 3 to join us in right now. What a battle and what a race here. Good, clean racing as usual that we're expecting here. Maybe a few mishaps here and there, but I mean, on North Wilkesboro, what do you expect? So right now, Robert just having a little fun out on the track. He sends it on in, although you're not supposed to go into the fence there, Robert. Nevertheless, guys, it has been an absolute tremendous night. We're still waiting on our top 3 to join us in here real quick. So, real quick, I guess, while we're waiting, let's go ahead and take a quick word to our sponsors one more time. Our good friends over at Matt Mills Racing Team, the best Xfinity team out there, is sponsoring and supporting Pedal to the Metal Racing League this season. If you want to support Matt Mills Racing today, be sure to follow them up at Matt Mills Racing on Facebook and Twitter. To our good friends over at Mid-States Air Conditioning and Heating. Ever find yourself in need of a little bit of heating and cooling units needing to be fixed in Keller or Richland, Texas? Stop on over to Mid-States Heating and Cooling for a troubleshoot. They'll get the job done right the first time and give you an honest-to-God effort to get everything done. Affordable SEO and marketing with services provided like web design, pay-per-click advertising, and logo design, business cards, shirts, hats, pens, candy, and more. It's time you outrank your competition online today. To our good friends over at Amber's Floral Creations, if you're looking for some special flowers for the special someone, be sure to visit and call up Amber's Floral Creations at 321-228-3135. They will give you a nice bouquet and a nice set that you need for the job. And then, of course, our friends over at Bob's Custom Trophies Incorporated. Bob's Custom Trophies is supplying up the trophies for the winners of each season. If you're looking to get the best hardware set up your way, visit www.bobscustomtrophies.com today. But, of course, they don't just do trophies. They do all kinds of stuff like decorations, gifts, and presents for your friends and family. We're heading up Christmas time here, folks, and Black Friday's coming. I'd visit up bobscustomtrophies.com to see about their deals. They've got some amazing stuff there and some awesome decorations that you have to see to believe. And, of course, I said hardware-wise because they're racing for these things. The late models and the ARCA series are all each battling, each one for one of these unique and beautiful trophies. And you just know they're all going down for it. SimRacingMerch.com, the one-stop shop for all your sim racing merch needs, including shirts, hats, mugs, and more. Be sure to visit SimRacingMerch.com to get your sim racing swag on. And over at Paul's Wraps. Looking for your car, truck, vehicle to match your style on the track, then be sure to hit up Paul's Wraps for just that. At such a low and affordable price, you can get your creation brought to life on the track. So what are you waiting for? Visit Paul's Wraps today. Bring your ideas to life. And then, of course, Maconi Setup Shop. For just $5, you can have the fastest and baddest car to beat on the track anytime at any place. To find the right setup for your track and car, be sure to visit up Maconi Setup Shop today. Let's take it down to our drivers. Now joining me in here, finishing second overall in the position here, that will be our pride of Texas, Kayla McCarthy. McCarthy, throughout the night, man, I tell you, you were looking hard and strong all day, but what was going through your mind there throughout this race?
To be honest, qualified really good. Had some adversity to start, but I didn't let it get me down. To be honest, just kept digging, kept fighting. Man, the last 3 days for me have been really, really rough. So be able to come back and get a P2 finish makes it all the much better. Golly, it feels good. It's not a win, but it feels just as good as it.
Well, I was about to say, I mean, you were fighting all hard. I know you personally off the track and everything you've been dealing with. You've been having some serious times out there, and I wish you nothing but the best to get things better for you and your family. I mean, for what you do, though, what you've been dealing with, I know Candace was watching in tonight. I know she's definitely proud of you for all you've done here in this league and series. I think anything you deserve to have the spotlight thrown on you once in a while, and you got yourself a podium finish here on a track that, honestly, a lot of people would say is very hard to master with anything, much less a late model. So, looked like everything worked out pretty good in your end. So, going into next week, what do you have to do to try to get back on top and defeat Robert and Jackson?
Honestly, just keep the mentality of keep digging. I don't ever need to let that mentality of defeat get over me, and anybody for out there, you know. I mean, don't ever accept defeat. Just keep digging, keep fighting. Tomorrow's another day. You know, the next day is another day. You got another day to fight. And that's what I'm going to live, and that's what I'm going to use for the next several races going forward for the rest of the season.
Definitely an honor and inspiration. I think you've inspired quite a few folks out there to always follow your dreams and all that. And I can tell you after this one, I think you definitely can be proud of this performance. So congratulations, Miss Kayla McCarthy. Who do you want to thank here for this finish?
First of all, I got to thank my wife for putting up with me. Like I said, last 24 hours have been really stressful. Got to thank Sim Racing Merch, Mid-Cities Air Conditioning, Amber's Florals, Pottles Wrap, Affordable SEO. Who else? We got Matt Mills Racing, Bob's Custom Trophies. We got Roland's. We got Maconi's. We've got PTM Racing, PTM TV. Everybody that we raced with, Pottles, Archon. Congrats to Archon again. Hell of a job tonight. Yeah, man. Just hopefully this is the start of something good going forward for the rest of the season.
Well, we hope so, too. It's definitely been a long season ahead still. You got quite a few races to go, but a nice little podium finish under your belt. We'll see how it all plays out. McCarthy, congratulations here at North Wilkesboro.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the pride of Texas, Kayla McCarthy in the 24, second-place finisher here tonight. Now joining me in the booth. If he had stopped having that darn little echo in the background, if it's Robert Kahn in the Rattlesnake, Quaker State. We're down here in Victory Lane here, buddy, and, man, that caution might have been your saving grace because Jackson Allen seemed like he had it in the bag, but you definitely started really pushing forward and getting everything figured out. What was going through your mind through this race?
Oh man, I haven't been in Victory Lane since last season. I was just happy to get a win in. I mean, that was I tell you what, out of all the, in other games and other series, this is probably like the best win that I liked. One of my favorites. That was a great race. The tire wear was really strong. That was a good race by everybody. I was just happy to finally get a win this season.
Definitely indeed there, man. I know you've been fighting. You've been trying to scratch and claw all week long and all this time. And definitely, I can tell you're a little bit emotional right now. I definitely kind of let it all set in. But, I mean, tell the fans and viewers at home, like, what does it feel like to finally get a win on any league, much less pedal to the metal racing league, which has got to be one of the hardest to win on?
Well, anytime you win anything, it's a good feeling. But for this league especially, when you put the time in and the effort and you really practice to try to get good times, I mean, and then you win, it's like it's such a good feeling, especially when you don't win for a while. It just makes that win that much sweeter when you finally get it. So this one's got to be one of my top ones that I enjoyed.
Absolutely indeed, man. Well, it's definitely been a hard-fought road and a hard, long series for you. I know your boy Kenneth Crawford, or Kenji, as you like to refer to him as, was kind of hanging around tonight. So, and I know some family of yours as well as rooting you on. This was definitely one of those, I think, that you were waiting for, and we had a feeling you might have a chance at it, and it ended up being that. So, Robert, who do you want to thank here tonight, buddy?
Like Bob's Custom Trophies, Matt Mills, Mid-Cities Air Conditioning Heating, Sim Racing, Amber's Floral, Cremations, Pottles Wraps, Affordable SEO, and Maconi Setup Shop. Their setups are fast, man. So go check them out at their website. They're great.
Yes, indeed, my friend. It's been a long, hard road, and finally you got yourself into Victory Lane once again. We'll see you next time out here, Robert, but congratulations here at North Wilkesboro. Long overdue, buddy.
Yeah, no doubt. Thanks, Chris.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner here tonight, that 21 of Robert the Rattlesnake on. Well, folks, sad day upon us. We got to leave you guys again. But don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow night with the Split Decision Racing League Triple Threat Series. So be sure to catch that here on PTM Racing TV. For all our sponsors, we want to say thank you to them again. Our friends and family at home and watching around the world, thank you guys. We absolutely love you guys and love your support. We hope to see you guys next time out when the green flag flies here on PTM Racing TV. For now, though, be safe. God bless. Take care. Good night, everybody.